So, forgive him or not, don't antagonize him.
Don't antagonize him, he's got a gun!
Don't antagonize her, okay?
Is there some reason you needed to antagonize him like that?
Oh, please, you're just saying this to antagonize me.
What I am trying to say is that it is too risky to antagonize Moscow.
And I swear that I won't antagonize the ghost anymore.
Does that assuage your guilt?
Are you sure you're not just trying to assuage your own guilt?
But to assuage any doubts.
I would want to assuage those concerns, but you are neither family nor friend right now.
I wish there was some way to assuage my guilt.
But Peter had so much fatherly concern for me that I felt obligated to assuage his fears.
You certainly don't berate him. He needs to know you're coming from a place of love and concern.
I'm sorry. I've been berating you about dragging your feet.
You come in here to my office and berate me.
You can berate patients all you want.
And you can berate me all you want. I'll sit here and I'll take it.
You berated Joe for being a bad cop.
You don't think that's a little, I don't know, brash?
How?
For me to just approach her like that.
No one should get hurt because of a dumb mistake I made as a brash young detective.
Well, frankly, sir, you're still acting like that brash, dumb detective.
He's a rude, brash jerk. You'll love him.
What shit? I'm too brash, I'm too impulsive.
False alarm, that was nothing.
How was that cacophony nothing?
During dinner, I could tune out the cacophony of chewing.
Can you please attenuate the cacophony out here? Ah! Turn down the music.
Kanisha, did Brian ever coerce you or pay you to talk to him?
Did anyone coerce you into making this statement today?
No, I just came to coerce you into family brunch.
Is he coercing you? We can protect you from that prick.
Blink if you're being coerced.
You hit dead end after dead end, but you still keep on searching. It doesn't deter you. In fact, it only drives you to try harder.
Remember, your very presence in this house is enough to deter a robber.
I leave the TV on to deter criminals.
Wouldn't a movie playing deter people from breaking in?
Using Q's account, they post a link to a lengthy diatribe.
Would you like me to drive so you can continue your diatribe?
This was an impressive diatribe by Rupert Lindsay, but with no purpose or consequence.
Hitler's diatribe on Aryan superiority is not an appropriate theme for a 6th grade book report.
You know what my mother's pet name for me is? Leonard. But I digress.
Because I digress.
But we digress all over.
Anyhow, I digress. Clark, you forgot your candle.
Bingo! How fun!
But I digress. Where were we?
I digress from my point.
If we each do what we can do, then Downton has a real chance.
You're very eloquent.
That was very eloquent.
He was very eloquent on the subject of love, didn't you think?
I'm sorry to interrupt your eloquent presentation, Richard.
You just made an eloquent speech that I greatly appreciate.
I can't be more eloquent than Officer Lopez.
To me, he's just like the epitome of just darkness and suffering.
Ida, you are the epitome of Hollywood.
At 17, she is the epitome of power and grace.
This was the epitome of uncool.
I love cats. They're the epitome of indifference.
Will they evade the rules of law and logic like they did in Las Vegas?
Shoot her! Shoot her! Evade! Shoot her on the freeway!
It's where rich people go to evade taxes. Bastards.
You evaded a police officer, not to mention child endangerment.
Perhaps I can tell him the story about the time I evaded the North Korean Border Patrol.
This is not a frivolous request.
I know you think this photo is frivolous, but it's an important honor for our family.
Music is just frivolous for me.
As if I was some frivolous housewife just looking for a way to kill time.
Our job is to make sure that frivolous lawsuits disappear before they ever reach the courtroom.
Remember those strange, garbled messages we got from Janet?
Did you get my message? Yeah, it was kind of garbled.
You know that part where his voice was garbled before?
Yeah, remember.
Can you play that again?
I can hear them, but they don't respond when I reply. And it's pretty garbled.
This may sound a little bit grandiose, but it's not unrealistic to think that we have the potential for worldwide penetration.
It's a little grandiose, but I'm still reading.
I'm sorry, they both suffer from grandiose delusional disorder.
Hannah was illiterate for the greater part of her life.
All right, so you're illiterate, and you can still do this whole numbers thing.
Well, I teach illiterate prisoners to read.
Most of them are practically computer illiterate anyway.
You are literally pop culture illiterate.
Your incessant complaining isn't doing us any good.
His incessant whining would most certainly spoil everyone else's day.
I can't even think straight with this incessant whispering.
And Cindy got tired of Matthew's idiotic jokes and incessant market chatter.
Thankfully, 11 years of my family's incessant yammering had given me an extraordinary ability to focus.
Woman kept calling me Sean.
It is incidental.
They all feel incredibly lonely.
Well, the loneliness is just incidental. It's really about people's inability to connect.
This was an incidental finding.
Yeah, but it's my incidental finding.
Although you'll be paying cash, we'll need to see a credit card to secure any incidental charges, minibar, parking, etc.
I am indefatigable.
Is this merely overcompensation or the indefatigable greatness of a truly great man?
You possess an indefatigable kindness, Miss Alex.
You've turned disasters into triumphs. With your sheer, joyful, indefatigable, infectious lust for life.
We now come to the second chance for the 4 intrepid men from Jamaica.
Fiamma has an intrepid spirit.
Well done, intrepid adventurers!
Look, I know I may never see you again, but we are intrepid.
The intrepid young soldiers of Bravo!
We have a pretty intricate matching algorithm.
I worked it out in intricate detail.
Well, your wife ran an intricate financial scam.
If you like the classics, we have Agatha Christie, very intricate mysteries.
It has one of the most intricate security systems of any research facility.
All this fucking intelligence jargon is hurting our brains.
I don't know this industry jargon, YP, MP, whatever, okay?
I'm just double-checking all of the legal jargon.
I need an expert to cut through the jargon.
It's just so bloody confusing. All the jargon.
I wouldn't expect a bank manager to know that kind of medical jargon.
Samantha had a particular knack for turning a desperate situation into a hopeless one.
Your mum always said you had a real knack for looking after animals.
I have a knack for guessing people's favorites.
You got a knack for killing?
I just have a knack for babies and animals.
I have a knack for languages.
I'm languishing back here. Maybe I'll say something to them.
Oh, I think she's in danger. So unfortunately, we can't just languish here.
Your luggage is languishing by the front door.
Some of these kids can often languish in the system unless a wonderful family like yours steps up for them.
Well, I languish here.
He's kind of leery of meats.
Can you see why I'm leery of relationships?
Be leery out there, okay?
I've always been leery of the United Nations.
I'm leery of letting Lecter's message run without knowing what it says.
No,
They run away from me when I see you.
They're leery of men, that's all. I decided that my New Year's resolution is to be more lenient with others.
Sometimes I'm too lenient with my kids.
I've been too lenient with you. I've spoiled you.
Well, you were arrested and then sentenced. I think the judge was pretty lenient considering.
Well, it's obvious that the legal system is too lenient on criminals.
Would it be absolutely ludicrous if we just made out?
It's a ludicrous idea. You're quite the most ludicrous man I have ever seen.
And I'm not up for this ludicrous mission.
Don't laugh. It was ludicrous of me to think that I could solve it.
I'm not okay with a mediocre job. I'm not okay with a mediocre apartment. I'm not okay with a mediocre life.
So is that what you think that we have? A mediocre life?
Look, if you want to be a good writer, then you can't have a mediocre life.
Janie had always been a so-so student and a mediocre athlete.
Does nobody on this crew know how to mend a fucking zipper?
Where do you go to mend a broken heart?
Mend the fuses, fix the car, mow the lawn. It's fucking boring.
Broken heart never mends milk.
The good news is he is going to mend with at least a month of bed rest and a little physical therapy.
What do you say we migrate to my suite?
Bacteria get loose in the bloodstream, migrate to the heart and lungs.
The inhabitants must migrate or face months of near starvation.
Some of you will migrate into new positions.
Apparently, they were migrating the database.
I'm afraid they're beginning to migrate outside our valley.
You're looking a little morose, honey.
I only ever get to talk to dead humans. I mean, they're so morose.
And don't use very sad, use morose. Exactly, morose.
What? Mom, don't be morose. It's not morose. It's what I want.
You know what? I just thought of another headline. Negligent parents allow baby to swallow condom.
Apparently, the hospital was negligent.
Your father is a terribly negligent parent.
I lost Kenny. I lost a kid. I'm negligent.
Well, I ran down Meredith in my car. I was being negligent.
You're pretty nonchalant about our family pet dying.
It's not nonchalant. It's farm life. Death is everywhere.
Right, where is he now?
He's in the bedroom.
Go back in there, Bridge. Whatever you do, act completely nonchalant.
Are you guys being a little nonchalant about all this?
Ah, wow, I cannot wait to partake in this later.
Students require parental approval to partake in certain extracurricular activities.
Okay, classy. May I, partake?
Hey, girl, hey! You wanna go partake in my little party?
Peripheral matters are not our concern.
Sir.
Why aren't you looking at the camera?
Oh, I'm just working on my peripheral vision.
Your peripheral vision is fine.
The real world, real people are peripheral.
My studies this evening pertain to music.
But how does this pertain to the situation with your son?
Honey, could we please stick to the facts that pertain to the case?
Are there any real questions that pertain to science?
I noticed a lot of your work pertains to firearms.
Did you find any evidence at the scene that pertains to this case?
Turns out power is a potent drug.
Does that sound like a pretty potent mix?
But I have some really potent medical weed at my house.
Passion. It's a force so potent we still remember it, long after it's faded away.
It just feels so incredibly potent, you know?
You'll never precede me, you'll always follow me.
Your reputation precedes you.
The attack, what preceded it?
Cause precedes effect.
Fatigue, night sweats, weight loss preceded the heart attack.
I see the foreshadowing that precedes every moment of every day.
Well, being a good role model for my progeny is an important job.
Ma, stop.
My progeny.
I've conceived hundreds of progeny.
So, you are the progeny of Johann.
But Willa is my progeny, and she is still alive.
So you let another man's progeny call you father?
Your quarrel is with me.
Your quarrel is with me.
We have no quarrel with your people.
An ant has no quarrel with a boot.
Ooh, a lover's quarrel. But what was the quarrel about?
Jesus Christ said, rebuke evil.
Yes, sir.
And I was crawling, and I was floating, and I was looking, and I was saying, I see you, and I rebuke you in Jesus' name.
Those who served him loved him. But he often rebukes unnecessarily.
Well, we can't accept gifts from somebody we've officially rebuked, so...
And any trouble we had here will recede away like a dream.
In 1984, the glacier was down there 11 miles away. And today, it's back here, receded 11 miles.
Time takes all things. The past recedes, memories fade.
Damn it, my hairline's receding.
If I caused any distress, I reproach myself most bitterly.
Mary reproaches me, insists I should find a more reliable prospect.
What possible reason could you have to condemn me to shame and reproach?
I shall reproach myself for not having been more guarded.
You at least have to sleep with someone else too, or you'll resent him forever.
Do you resent him for being better than you?
I've always resented you.
She resented her for being such a hypocrite.
I am the only one doing it, and then everyone resents me for it.
Because I don't want to end up resenting you for this.
He might spend the rest of his life resenting you.
You will retain your present rank, of course.
Lightens the calories, but retains the flavor.
You will receive stock, and you will retain a seat on the board.
Either Jessica will retain her position, or I will resume control of Pearson Hartman.
She might want to retain a lawyer.
Chinelli will retain him as waste management consultant for 2 years.
Don't sit so rigid. Just relax.
I was too rigid back then.
By 12, he had adopted a rigid diet and workout schedule.
At a certain age, your brains become more rigid, difficult to change.
What? Why are you so rigid when I hug you?
But President Walker is the one who should be scrutinized here.
I'm being heavily scrutinized from both within and without.
This Connor kid is the one who needs to be scrutinized and punished.
But only one of them has ever been scrutinized as a suspect.
What are we supposed to do? Scrutinize every little thing we say and do all day?
My diagnosis is that you've experienced a severe anxiety attack.
All of these kids were born with severe brain damage.
I have a pretty severe cat allergy.
If you had a brother with a severe handicap, what would you do?
I'm sorry to announce that we're canceling Flight 909 due to severe weather in Chicago.